humorous speaking manual on the speech, Keep Them Laughing. Okay, let's make this easy. You might as well get all the laughing out now. Let's go, everybody. You're killing me. That's it. Thank you. Mark has held the officer's slot since becoming a 408 member in 2008. Now he is our president for the second time. He's also competed as an evaluation speech champion from the club to the division level in 2013, losing at district. Ah, no bell, Jane says. Mark is a motorhead sorts and enjoys pursuing car magazines and the internet for articles and occasionally driving his summer vehicle, a convertible, when the weather allows it. That is not a drop of rain, when there is not a drop of rain in the sky or a snowflake on the ground, nor a drop of precipitation on his baby, if he can help it. Mark had this idea that he was a pretty good driver before this fateful white-knuckled ride he is about to describe to us, which did not thankfully involve his beloved convertible. The title of his speech is An Accident Waiting to Happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Williams.
So here it is. Here's the scenario. Minding your own business. And it's almost like one of those bad Allstate commercials. Everything that you wished happened or wished that didn't happen happened all at once. And it's almost like you could see it coming. You could see all these conditions just come together, and all you can do is just say, oh man, you know you're going to die. Well, you're not going to die, but it's not going to be pretty. And that day it wasn't pretty. I had a half day off of work, and I was feeling pretty happy about it that day. It was December 21st, 2004. I went out after lunch. I didn't actually eat lunch. I kind of forgot to eat lunch. And I went to do a little bit of shopping because it was just before Christmas. And it was also my mother's birthday. So I said, you know, I'm going to do something really special for Mom and go get her a card. And I'm going to have a whole lot of fun at this. I mean, I had the music all turned up and everything. Heck, I'm on a half a day's work here. I don't have anybody to answer to. And I'm just kind of just plodding along, driving. I went to the drugstore, you know, to look at cards, and it's pretty much looking at, kind of like looking at a McDonald's menu. You don't actually touch anything, and you're just looking at the cards like this. Everybody that goes and looks at cards, either in the drugstore or at the dollar store, they all do it. You might pick up one or two and flip through them, and it's never the one that you pick up first off. So you look like a fool for a little while picking out cards. This is what I did. I picked out cards. I get back to the car. After all of the shopping, I get in, and I'm just zooming everywhere. I just got this new truck, right? I love this thing. I mean, it's got like 275 horsepower. It's got the latest in tires. The stereo sounds good. It was new, except for the dent in the fender. Bought it off a dealership. Lease buyback, getting the fender. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. I had something to show for all this hard work that I've been doing. Anyway, my parents, they live in Coatesville, and I had to cut through Boardman to get to their house. Now, this day, let me frame the day for you. The weather was, I'd say probably 20 degrees colder than it is now. And it was snowing, just a little bit. Not a whole lot. And the roads seemed like they were relatively dry. So, I'm driving along. And if anybody's familiar with Villa Marie, when you come off of 422, is it 422? No, 616, and you're cutting across to go to North Hubbard Road. All right? So essentially you're in Lowellville. And I thought I had a pretty good handle on this thing. I had it in all-wheel drive, and I'm driving with one arm, and doing the thing with the finger and everything, making turns, like this. I drive like this when nobody's looking. We all look like fools. It's just like anything else that you're doing and nobody thinks that you're doing. You're not paying attention to your expressions. If you did on a daily basis, you wouldn't do half these things. Anyway, I'm driving like this, and then all of a sudden, I'm clipping along and I'm doing about 45 miles an hour. The road, apparently, was very slick. Okay, dummy me didn't know that. Music turned all the way up. I mean, all the way up. Like, I'm listening to some serious jams here, right? So, big white strip across the middle of the road. I looked and I said, do you know the way? Oh man. All of a sudden, everything just went like this. I'm looking up at the sky because I just lost contact with the road. You have no idea what that feeling is like. Has anybody ever flipped a car in this room? Okay, you know exactly what that feeling is like. It's like being on a roller coaster when you don't want to be on a roller coaster. I ended up in the air. I hit the brakes, and then all of a sudden I cleared over to the other side of this road. It was a 2-lane road, and I ended up in a ditch on my side. Okay, let me show you graphically what was happening. I'm sitting there, laying on my side like this, and I had a drink in the cup holder, and it's doing this. And I'm just sitting there just watching. I'm like, this is bad. This is really bad. This is terrible. This thing empties itself all the way out before I even realized, I think maybe I should try to get out of here. So, I get up, I'm standing, suspended by my seatbelt. The vehicle is tipped over on its right side. Radio's still going. I'm like, this is really messed up. What was previously a motor vehicle is now turned into a tank. I had to open my turret to get out. My turret door. Those things are really heavy, especially on an SUV. It must have weighed a couple of 100 pounds that day. Full of adrenaline, I'm pushing this thing wide open, and I climb out. Feet, legs, arms, everywhere. And I'm on top of it. It took me a while to get there. Music's still going. By this time, I'm hating Dionne Warwick. I look around and I go, incredible. And then I look down, there's the ditch. I jump to the ground, and you think most people would just kind of turn around and look at their newly acquired automobile and go, what did I do? I started laughing. I said, guy drives up, right? Don't know who this person is from Adam. He's kind of skidding to a stop. You need any help? I looked at him, I went, no, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine, thanks. I got my phone out. I started calling everybody and their brother. I managed to call my mother, the insurance agent, a tow truck, and I called somebody else. I think it might have been a Toastmasters meeting. I'm not going to be in. No, it was school. I said, I don't think I'm going to be in this afternoon. Had a little accident. Matter of fact, I'm still here. Hung up the phone. Cop shows up. Still laughing, music still going. Lady comes out of her patrol car and looks at me and says, you okay? I went, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. You wouldn't have to be drunk, would you? No, I'm not drunk. Oh, no, I'm not drunk. I'm just happy I didn't get killed. You see that thing over there, that rumpled heap with the steam coming out of it? That used to be my car. All the Christmas presents all over the place. The latte that I had in the cup holder spilled all over the passenger side of the car. I was thankful of one thing. That thing did its job. I'm safe. I hurt my finger in that crash. It still gives me trouble. I can't always do this like I'd like to. Sometimes I have trouble picking my nose, but I still have my finger. This is the principle or the moral of the story. Take your time, no matter what time you got, just take your time, especially now in these elements. This last Saturday, if anybody was driving through Warren, it was like driving in a skating rink. And Dion's really getting on my nerves. But I want you all to know that I really enjoy driving, but there's absolutely no reason why anyone should die over something really stupid, and that was a very stupid day. And I'm just thankful that I'm here. I went from 45 miles an hour to a dead stop, and that's why I was laughing. I said, that doesn't happen every single day. That could have been really bad, and anytime I think back on it, I laugh, and I find something else funny to think about it. That latte dumping over into the passenger side, it kills me every time I think about it. My mom had to come pick me up on her birthday. She was so worried about me. I said, Mom, you have no idea. I just had the most fun in my entire life. I'm here. So everybody be careful and wear your seatbelt. Mr. Toastmaster.